it's this instant gratification, man, of like getting what you want when you want it quicker. And I think that can be dangerous, man.
How would you describe content back in the early days of social media, YouTube, and content now? Like, do you feel it's changed for the better or has it changed for the worse?
No, worse for sure. And again, that's probably showing my age, but content was more curated. There was, I feel like, much more creativity, even though there was less tools. I feel like people were just always looking at how they can give people a great show, a great performance, a great visual organization of how albums are put together. I know the hot topic on Twitter right now, people are like, "Oh my god, Rolling Loud was terrible. It was this," and dude, I don't watch that shit. Like I said, I just don't have time for it, but I checked out a few performances, and I'm just like, I would never pay to go to this. But again, I'm getting older, dude, and, like, when I was 20, I'm sure people I knew who are my age now are probably saying the same shit, so I think it has something to do with, like, age, but I obviously keep my ear to the streets and to what's doing numbers and and I find stuff I do like, but I just feel like there are so many tools out there now, even from, like, a BeatStars standpoint. Like, BeatStars is a tool that wasn't around technically when I was making music and coming out, right? Um, DX was, bigger, blogs were bigger. It's just the curation, I feel like, was just more thought about and more executed properly, and there's still people doing it to this like, today. I'm not saying nobody's doing it, but what I've noticed is it's just more about releasing music and then, like, filling it in with social media, like, creator type content. Like, it's not I don't know, I just don't think people put enough effort into their releases. You know who had a really dope release recently, excuse me? I don't know if you've ever heard of her. She's a rapper, a female rapper. I think she's definitely from New York, but might be from Brooklyn. I'm not exactly sure. Her name's Lexa Gates. I don't know if you ever heard
Mhm.
of her.
Yeah.
She just did a release where she walked in a hamster wheel for I think like 24 hours or 12 hours or something weird. Like the fuck, like. But that's kind of cool shit. I like, man. That's cool. Like that's
Right.
interesting. And then the music aesthetically goes with it. It's just a well thought out release. Now it's not doing the numbers that maybe a bigger artists are doing, but I just feel like the creativity has changed, and I don't know if it's for the better or worse. Again, maybe it's just my age showing and what I like and what I like to see from artists and see from creators. Um, but listen, it's people are popping still. People are still eating it up. So I also think, the younger demographics, attention span's a lot less than ours, right? Like
Right.
they're just it's nonstop short content. It's like, all right, we have long form music videos, great. All right, well, how can we get this long form content in the smaller content? Oh, let's invent social media. All right, great. Now we have social media. We can put all this longer form content in the shorter form content. It's like, all right, well, that's still too long. How can we take this shorter content from the longer content and make it even shorter? Oh, let's introduce shorts and reels. And like now it's like, yo, if you don't get your message across in 30 seconds, like you're toast. Cause it's like, fuck it. I'm
Well,
gonna,
you could say Twitter kind of was the problem when it was 240 characters, whatever,
yeah,
if it was too long, then longer than that, then it was too much.
yeah.
Right.
I hated that, by the way. That was
Yeah.
it. But it's just, I feel like where we're going and where we are currently and where we're going is just shorter form content. I mean, if you go look at the studies of song releases, especially in hip hop, rap, R&B, some of these genres, dude, the length of songs has decreased over time. Shorter is better now. Like you don't want long songs. You want short songs because
Remember where people would be able to do 6-minute rap songs or four
yeah,
verses and stuff like that? Now it's like one chorus, the
mhm,
verse, and a chorus again, and you're done.
that's it. Because you're getting the streams are being counted, bro. Like, why do I got to give it 5 minutes if I can get credit for 2.5 minutes or 2:20 or 2:10? But I also think it's something to do with the output of music too. If you're releasing a lot of music as well, it's gonna be easier for you to keep up the consistency of releasing music versus putting out really well thought out bigger projects. But why would you do that if all the data is telling you that people can't fucking listen to 5-minute songs anymore? They don't have the attention span. Like, oh, I gotta go to the next song. Like, I think that's why I said earlier, way earlier, probably 2 hours ago, that bro, obviously social media changed my life and helped me get my foot in the door, but I think it's actually one of the worst things that's ever happened to human society. Like it
It's
is it is
yeah.
crazy, bro. It's like and it's just getting worse, I feel like. And it's scary. It's scary, man.
Do you remember when we were coming up, like, it was such a big deal if, like, there was a leaked picture, leaked video of a
Yeah.
girl, like, that was a celebrity or something like that,
Mhm.
right? Did you ever envision there would be the day that they would voluntarily be
No.
going to a website and
Nope.
logging in and putting this up themselves to sell? That's insane to think about, right?
It is. I listen, dude, I was hyped when my favorite show would come out at Monday at 9 p.m. and I had to be in front of my TV to watch that show. That's changed. It's like now you can just go binge watch all 8 episodes in 3 hours. It's this instant gratification, man, of, like, getting what you want when you want it quicker. And
Right.
I think that can be dangerous, man. It's actually one of my biggest struggles now that I run BeatStars Publishing and run a publishing business and have been for over 6 years, is so many people are uneducated on what publishing is and basically how to collect and do all these things, and it's just not worth it to them because it's not instant. You gotta wait, dude. You're not seeing money sometimes 4 to 6 months, money starts trickling in, year. It's really about 18 to 24 months till you see your bulk payments when you're, collecting worldwide. Dude, that's a lot of time for some people. So, I have a lot of creators that just are like, "Oh, I didn't get around to it." It's like, "Yo, but you have 400 million streams, dude. Like, you could make this amount of money." They're like, "What?" I'm just like, "Yeah, what are you doing?" And they don't
Mm,
understand since money is not instant, it's, like, not as appealing. It's just like, I don't know,
that's insane.
I think it was set up that way, bro. I'm not gonna get into that, like, how the music industry is set up and who set up all these rules, but yeah, that's just I think the instant gratification thing is really what it comes down to. It's like, "I can't listen to your 5-minute video. Give me a 30-second reel on this topic now, please." Because
Right.
I got 47 other things I gotta listen to after that. Like, I'm trying to soak up as much as I can in the shortest period possible. That's, like, kinda how it is, bro. It's like a race to the bottom. Like,
Right.
I don't know, dude.
How do you think that it's affected hip hop media and journalism though? Like, because in the early days, you could have a video of an artist talking about their new project and it would get a lot of views. Now it's like the stuff that really is getting the views is the most salacious, outlandish, crazy stuff. Like, you got to compete with so many other people doing content.
Yeah. I mean, bro, again, I think it goes back to the point I was just making, like, would you rather go read a 5-page article in Rolling Stone about an incident, or you can get DJ academics posting it with a 100-word caption and give you the same story to an extent? Not for me. I'd rather go read this shit because I like to see people's opinions, thoughts, and they're not just rage baiting me or trying to get me. They're not trying to necessarily touch an emotion, and a lot of times that emotion is just anger or drama or jealousy or envy. The article is written in a way where it's actually giving me the emotions of, I don't know, just looking at things from a different perspective, understanding kind of where the writer's coming from. Like it's just there's just more integrity and more depth to that. Again, I think people just don't want the world moves so fast that reading that article is just too long and taking up of my time. I just need to get it in 30 seconds. And if it's from the guy who obviously gives two shits about integrity and culture and doing the right thing, and they only care about click-through rates and ad money, you got a problem, bro. But we've been programmed to I think digest content much quicker. I'm guilty of it, bro. I'm speaking from experience. Like I'm guilty.
Right.
I'm sure we're all guilty of it. But that's the media has changed drastically, man. That's what I was saying in 2014. I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I'm not saying I had it all figured out, but I could see where social media could be going and how news could start being populated. News is pumped through social media now, dude, before it even hits some of these places. And if you get an article on a Rolling Stone or some of these other places, there's most definitely probably something in there that is embedded through social media. Well, so and so said this the other day on Twitter. Like it's incorporated, it's become part of the story.
So you recently started a new podcast in 2026.
Yep.
where there's no shortage of podcasts, right? Everybody and their mama has a podcast. What made you want to start one now?
Oh, I didn't, bro. I don't wanna do this at all, to be honest, but my wife
I don't want to do
no,
it.
I don't wanna do any of this shit, bro, because it's so many other things to do, but I also feel like I have 20 years of experience, and there's not one place where I've shared it all. I've done interviews like this with people like you and here and there, and, like, it's great, but, like, my wife's just like, "You have a great voice and, like, very interesting stories. I think you would do well." And I mean, dude, I've had dozens, if not hundreds of people over the years tell me, maybe even more than maybe thousands, tell me like, "Dude, you should do a podcast." I would listen. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So this year I wrote a goal down saying start a podcast, and I had it lined up in January, and then it just didn't happen, dude. And it got pushed back. And then I struggled with what should it be about? Should I have guests? Should I not have guests? And then what I figured out is there's a lot of content I can go over on my own, and I don't need a guest. And I think I will go have a one-off call with a creator or their manager or whatever it is, and they're like, "Bro, I've learned more in this 30 minutes call than I have in my life." And I'm like, "Why can't I just say the same shit I'm saying to these 2 people and put it publicly out and everyone can hear it? And maybe they can get something from it." So, I don't really care about numbers. I probably got like 100 or some views on each podcast, and I could give 2 shits. I'm gonna keep putting it out because I know consistency is key. And I'm eventually gonna bring on guests. I'm gonna bring people on, and we're gonna talk about stuff that normally isn't talked about within the industry. That's kind of just people. I have a lot of people, man, have come to me and said, "Dude, if you ever do a podcast, I will give you the first interview of the terrible deal I signed 5 years ago that I've never told anybody about." So a lot of people come to me too and are just like, "I want to share my story, but I want to do it with you because you're talking about this stuff." So I have a lot of that planned, and a lot of like tutorial based stuff, sharing my screen. Do you know who, I'm probably gonna say his name wrong. The Professor, Zhang, I think his name is. Do you know who that is? The guy who's making all those videos about, just pretty much like, what does he do? It's called basically predicts the future, by world events. I don't know if you ever
No.
yeah, bro, he's crazy. This dude's crazy. So um, he predicted that Trump would win the election. This was back a couple years ago. He would win 2024. He predicted that he would go to war with Iran. He also predicted that we would lose the war. So, and he's sticking by all them. He's been right on too, and who knows? We'll see. But anyway, so I got hip to him months ago, just on some of his content talking about this. He does prediction videos based on data, and he's able to predict what he thinks is going to happen. And so I started watching a lot of his videos. This is before I launched my podcast. And what he does is he teaches from a classroom perspective. So he has a board, but it's not a regular chalkboard. It's like a digital board he can write on, but he can also put images and swipe. And he does all this crazy shit. And I was just like, what if I did stuff similar to that? But for music industry and music business stuff, where we're actually breaking these things down visually, and in real time, and eventually can bring on people to ask questions and break it down even more. So I kind of am gonna start doing more
Dude,
of
that's
that.
genius. You
Yeah,
should definitely do that.
well, I did the last video. I've done 2 episodes. The intro video where you might have got a lot of this information from, where I told people about my journey. It's a little bit longer. It's like 20-25 minutes. And then when I just dropped the other day, or not even the other day, last week, it was maybe like 10-15 minutes. And it was actually a tweet somebody put out that Benny the Butcher didn't pay them for a song. And it kind of went a little viral, like on Twitter. But I did a whole deep dive on, was the song registered for publishing? Where's the trail? And I broke that all down on the video, and come to find out, the woman who was the producer who was claiming these things never even signed up with a PRO, but she was telling people she did, but there's literally no trace of her. So I have, a lot of the repertoires for publishing are public, like with societies, PROs, mechanical societies. They're public, but then there are a handful that are not, but we have private logins because we're a publisher. So I'm able to see a lot more than what the public can see. So I shared all that, dude. It's out. You can go watch it. You can check it. It's pretty interesting. But what I came to find out is that she doesn't have a PRO. She never registered the record. But again, my question back was, do you have a fully executed agreement? Did you get paperwork? And what I came to find out is it actually looks like they might be 2 uncleared samples on this work. So you technically shouldn't be registering the work. but it is. So
Wow.
maybe they clear the sample, and I don't know. A lot of speculating going on with this because I don't know all the info, but my point is some of these people I'm gonna bring on as guests, I will have all the info. They will give me insight into their agreements. They will give me insights into what was and wasn't done, and from there, then I can take it all and break it down more and show people public things of registrations and this is right, this is wrong, and ways to avoid it, and make sure you're doing things the correct way. But with her, I didn't know anything about her, dude. I thought it was interesting. I'm like, I bet there's more to the story. And what I found out was, yeah, she doesn't have a PRO. So how are you going to register a song if you don't even have a PRO? You need to get, if you're in America, ASCAP, BMI, something.
Right.
She didn't even have that. So it's like, that's step one. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing, dude. Because that's what I do every day. So it's like I'm just gonna do the shit I do every day that people don't see and just put it public. And people can learn from it. So I want to be like him. I'll say the link too after this. I want to be like him, but from a music. So I'm not saying I'm copying him. I just thought what he did. And I'm a visual learner, dude. So I failed out of school. I didn't fail out of school, dropped out of school, and didn't do well in school because all day I'm just being talked to and be like, remember this, remember this. And I'm just like, okay, what? Oh shit. I wonder what's on TV tonight. But if you visually show me some shit, I'm like, oh. And then once I know something, bro, I'll tell you this, I'm good.
Right.
Once I got something, I'm good. And then if I don't know something based on what I learned, I will go figure it out. And my goal is to know more than any other person. So I'll go to the biggest influencers, not in the sense of social influencers, like influencers in the space. If it's about the stock market or whatever, I will find the most knowledgeable people. I will go buy books. I will read them. I'll read online. I will study. I will practice, and I'll figure it out. I had to do that with publishing because if I didn't, it's like how you run a publishing company, you don't know what's going on. There's a lot of
Right.
people out there doing it actually, so it's kinda scary, but that was kind of the idea, man, is to know as much as I can, know more than everyone else, and then you put yourself in that position, like I said earlier, it's very hard to get taken advantage of if you know more than people. Can't play that trick on me, you know what I mean? Like, I've already seen that 50 times in the last month. Not working.